problem. So now he's like, no, I realized we just need to have people who also are with it. They love molestation. Yeah,
yesterday,
Bill Barr was a fixer for decades. Now he's got Pam Bondi. I still don't understand. Why would they take Trump with them to the island if they knew
I
he
was
did not like to be
having
around pedophiles and was against pedophilia in general? Kind of unfair
a
to him. Yeah, he's
very
so small.
frustrating
He's a
issue
white hat, small
with
D,
this
anti-pedophilia advocate. Trump is the real victim here. Yeah, they forced him to do
Twitch
it, potentially,
being
allegedly. Who
connected
knows? Except
to
we now know that
my
wasn't the case. I
Riverside
mean, Delay said
FM.
in the 7 million different photos you've seen of me and Trump, I only saw him do good things and no bad things at all. Not even a little bit. I'll have you know, he was shaking his head
And we're
the entire time. As other pedophiles
gonna
were
try again.
girls, he was going, like this. It's like getting caught in public reading Mein Kampf. You're like,
Trying it again.
You're reading it, but you're going like, and sometimes even waving your finger like this. That's what Trump was doing. He was like, don't do it. At a certain point, we have to measure the pickups by like the actual impact, right? Trump could just be like, I'm innocent. I told Ghislaine Maxwell to literally say I'm innocent.
Like, there's something
for Donald Trump coming out and
with
basically being like, I told Ghislaine Maxwell to say I'm innocent in exchange for lenient sentencing, which is in my power. If he just came out and said that, what do you think would happen? Do you, in your heart, genuinely believe that any sort of significant repercussions
so
would come
fucking
of that?
annoying.
Honestly, the only way that there would be movement in a positive direction on this issue is if, like, people got so mad that he, like, openly admitted this, that there were riots
so
on the streets,
annoying.
and his base was participating in the riots, okay? Only then could there be some kind of change.
And the weird thing is,
but it
like,
would not be because of Democrats that have pushed for, like, an impeachment.
I really shouldn't care that much
As I've said it before,
because
like, we only have
my strongest following is on,
I mean, I want to trust them.
I guess,
but
YouTube
how can you?
and
I feel like at a certain point you have to be delusional to
Facebook,
assume
but
that like these liberal institutions are actually going to do
I
their
was
job.
always
he has overcome
dependent
all
on
of
that,
these
like,
liberal
one.
institutions. He just keeps bouldering his way through the process, and it's not even like sophisticated or clever. The way he does it is just like so haphazard and so stupid. Everything Donald Trump does is basically exactly the way he has operated through this like Jeffrey Epstein thing, right? Just straight up being incredibly suspicious every step of the way. I mean, he came in and pardoned all the January 6th criminals, okay? Every single one.
Why.
And then his administration, his lawyers in his administration,
I don't understand why it's not
argued
working.
that some of the January 6th offenders, like at least one, that was criminally charged, was found to be guilty of child pornography, CSAM, I don't like using CP as a term, CSAM, child sexual abuse material, and they were arguing that because that information came out in the J6 trials, that he should still be released. But that's psychotic. That's insane. This is perhaps the most pro-pedophilia administration that we've had ever. It's not just you, my lifelong lived teacher mom talks about how we can't rely on the Democrats anymore. No, 100%. I think the situation has gotten so out of control, and the transparent graph is so undeniable, and the Democrat Party's complacency is so frustrating that liberal wine moms are talking like me. At that point, we're completely off the rails. This is what I was trying to talk about the other day when I did that fundraiser, right? Where I was talking about how, like, people are constantly on Twitter and on TikTok, more so than Twitter, saying, you know, somebody's got to do it. Like, that is a sentiment that has not existed in liberal collective consciousness before to this degree. That is an indication that the situation has gotten so bad that previously liberals who would otherwise say, you got to respect the institutions, like, come on now, I mean, this is the president after all, he's the one who's, you know, steering this ship, and we have to respect it. Like, they are saying, not that, okay? That is a call born out of desperation. In some ways, you don't have a Watergate-style moment anymore, because every day is 10 Watergates in general. Watergate only works if there is some kind of confidence in these institutions and, like, an interest by members of both parties in, like, holding on to institutional legitimacy. Donald Trump's entire purpose has been to say, the institutions, I do what I want. Corruption has always existed in American politics, but there's a reason why we have tried to legalize corruption in the form of lobbying. The very reason why you try to legalize it and make it, you know, by the books is so that people don't realize how corrupt the situation actually is, how corrupt our institutions actually are. When you let go of the aesthetics of like, no, this is the normal process, all of a sudden people are like, well, wait a minute, this is just criminal. This is a criminal enterprise. What the hell's going on? People get mad. Republicans have already let go of institutional norms a long time ago. They don't give it. They've never given it. Liberals were the last bastion of institutional defense. They were the ones who did organically and legitimately believe in the infallibility of our esteemed, protected institutions that will keep society ticking. And now liberals are also losing that as well. And once the liberals no longer believe in that, it's bedlam. That's where we're at. Joe Rogan will be used to sweep the Epstein scandal. Senior Trump administration leaders are reportedly looking at using megastar podcasts of Joe Rogan to help tackle lingering fallout from the Jeffrey Epstein crisis.
Okay.
They already have been doing that. That's why they sent Cash Patel there, and it was a spectacular failure. So much so that Joe was like, "Oh, I can't do that." Not only that, but also then they had the CIA guy go on Joe Rogan and be like, "Jeffrey Epstein probably was a Russian and Chinese, maybe Hamas asset, and that didn't work either. We know Jeffrey Epstein might be related to foreign intelligence, but it's certainly not Chinese." Okay, the foreign intelligence that Jeffrey Epstein is associated with is Israeli intelligence. Sorry, sucks to suck for you guys, but you can't get out of this situation, okay? It's just not happening.
It's a man, baby. I am so sorry. Did you know that Austin Powers is 23 years old?
Okay, I can't,
Yes, there is a new manga conspiracy theory, and yes, it is insanely dumb. Initial reaction to your series was, well, that now we know.
focus so much on
But this one is going to be tested in the courts. Now, it is extremely difficult to defame a public figure, let alone
Can't focus so much on Twitch, I guess.
But Candace Owens might have found a way. Yes, after getting kicked out of the Daily Wire for
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with Twitch and Riverside FM.
The First Lady of France isn't
can't,
actually a lady at all. She's secretly a man who stole his sister's identity and is now working undercover to manipulate her husband.
I can't worry so much about it right now.
Pedophiles. And it's just the beginning. Trust me, it gets done.
I can't worry so much about it right now.
And her husband, French President Emmanuel Macron,
I'll lose my shit.
fired back by filing a monster 219-page defamation complaint against Owens. Now, we've read the complaint, and oh boy.
Hello, YouTube,
Certainly
and
the greatest hits compilation of manga's favorite tinfoil hat club
it's lying to me saying Twitch, but
because we're going to check off a lot of boxes as we analyze the Macron's case against Candace Owens and what happens when the lines between protected speech and defamation
not
blur.
lying to
Now,
me.
while the United States is a net importer of goods, one of its greatest
It's straight up
exports
saying
is
it's not.
conspiracy theories. But the Brigitte Macron is a man claim actually started in France. Like the U.S., France has a group of extreme right-wing anti-government conspiracy theorists who peddle wild ideas online.
Okay.
And the post-COVID era, political distrust created
We're gonna
even
stop
more
and start
fertile
again.
for those conspiracy theories. Brigitte Macron and her husband have often been the subject of salacious